Hi everybody, it's 7 p.m. and this is the Wednesday NatGat planning call. There's only about 5 of us on the call right now, so I'm going to turn the music back on and just wait for a couple more people to trickle in. Thanks. Samumba and Robert. So, first things first, can everybody hear me all right?
Chaz?
Yeah.
Chaz, nobody heard you because you didn't put your mic on until the last 3 or 4, until the word Samumba.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
Just start over. You'll be fine.
Yeah, gotcha. So this is the Wednesday NatGat planning call. Thanks for coming, everybody. I will be facilitating. Cal is on the TA, and if we would have a volunteer for note taker, just at some point press the number 5, and please start taking notes. The way this call works is we have an agenda. It's at netgat2014.titanpad.com/4 if you want to follow along with the agenda. And what the controls on the phone are as follows: 1, if you want to get on stack; 2, if you want to twinkle up; 3, if you want to twinkle down; 4, if you have a direct response to something someone is saying; and 5, if you have a technical problem or a question for somebody to answer. And in this case, the 5 is from Julia, and I believe that she is volunteering to take notes. And I'm going to open your mic real quick, Julia. Is that true?
Yeah, if no one else is, more than one note taker always makes for better notes. But if no one else is, I'm typing away here.
All right. Well, I really appreciate to have one note taker so far, and nobody else has volunteered, but feel free to press the number 5 if you'd like to help Julia with the notes. That would be great. All right. So we're going to take like 30, 45 seconds each to do check-ins and any like pertinent announcements you might have. At the same time, just to try to get the announcements and the check-ins out of the way quickly. There's a big agenda today, so we're going to try to keep to these time limits. That said, I am going to start at the top of the list and go down. So that's going to be first with check-ins, and so Robert, your mic is open.
Hi, Robert Cruz, Occupy Redding, California. I've been posting the poster to all the admins I know, all the groups, all the web pages, emailing it out to all the peeps, and I will continue to do so. Blocked on Facebook today. We'll be blocked on Twitter by tonight. Check.
Thanks for that report, or that check-in there, Robert. Samumba, that puts you up next. Your microphone is open.
Hello, greetings everyone from New York City, the Bronx to be exact. Calling on behalf of the May 1st Coalition, as well as Occupy Wall Street, Occupy Evolve, and the worldwide wave of action happening on Friday. Check.
I see that my mic was not on. Sorry about that. Jackie, we're back to your check-in. Your mic is open. Can you hear me?
Yes, hi. That's why I threw the 5 up, because you were mute. This is Jackie, Occupy Buffalo, NatCat.io. And I'm not hearing you too well, Chaz. I don't know if there's anything you can do about that. Check.
All right. Well, hopefully this is a little bit better. I've been having microphone issues. I'm very sorry. If you can't hear me during the call, just put up some 5s. I saw the 5s light up the place, and that's how I knew my mic wasn't open. Thanks for all that. Let's see. We are going down to Carrie. Carrie from Hilo, Hawaii. Your microphone is on.
Oh, aloha. Sorry, everybody. This is Carrie checking in from Occupy Hilo. Nice to see a lot of people on the call and a big agenda. I am live streaming my county council today, so I'll be listening and summing up and summing down, but I'm not going to be able to talk a lot. So appreciate everybody on the call. Aloha. Check.
All right. Thanks for that, Carrie. Next up is Donna. Donna, your microphone is open.
Hi, everybody. This is Donna from Occupy San Diego, and I've just been working on our coordinated wave of action for this Friday to commemorate the passing of Martin Luther King for 4/4/14, gathering people in Civic Center San Diego. And last night we actually started working on a coordinated candlelight vigil between San Diego, Orange County, and Los Angeles. So we're going to have it timed and live streamed, and hopefully that'll do a lot to help unite and inspire other places and areas to do the same. Thank you. I yield.
Thanks. That's a great announcement, Donna. It's good news. People are getting together in Southern California. Next up is Julia, our fearless note taker. Julia, if you'd like to check in and any announcements you might have.
Hi. No, this is Julia from Occupy Savannah and from the Occupy Army. I'm new on board. This is my first call-in, and I'm planning on being out there this summer for the event. In Occupy Savannah, we are doing a lot with the Occupy Gardens, and that is occurring all across Georgia. In Georgia, we have a significant amount of rural areas to cover, and it's very interesting to see them becoming self-sufficient and embracing the Occupy movement all across Georgia. That's pretty much it for now.
All right. Well, it's great to hear we've got somebody from Georgia and Savannah on the call. It's part of the country we haven't heard much from yet. All right. Next up on the check-ins is Brother Carter. Brother Carter, how are things with you today?
Well, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Like I say, you know, you got to keep bobbing and weaving, you know, and get right back up, keep fighting a good fight. But I want to say hi to everybody. And when we talk about this Friday, the candlelight visual, that's exactly what we're doing here on the west steps of the Capitol. We'll be with all Walmart workers, a few fast food workers. We have a group from Davis, California, which is right outside of Sacramento, that will be pushing the $15 wage. We're moving on up. And the reason why we all have to do this, we are at the gates now of the fierce urgency of now, because of today, the high courts have allowed these corporations now to put more money than ever to buy us out and to kill our voices. And you know the only thing that we have is us. So it's going to take a whole lot of us to get busy, and this has got to be the main topic and one of the top topics right now as we talk about this gathering, because we have so many things that are working against us in these times right now, to where more than ever we got to come with this plan of the 99%, you know, to put things back into perspective, because what the courts did today, like I said, that is unjust. You know, we can't keep fighting against all this big money out here. You know, something's got to die, and it can't be us. So I'm just putting it out there passionately in this way, because I just feel like every time, you know, we make one step, you know, to get a little bit closer, you know, to addressing these issues, they come up with something else. And I just feel the key thing is today is the word is distractions. Let's not be distracted. Let's stay focused to this thing right here, because they've given us what we needed now. You know, what was hidden behind us on these closed doors at the highest courts, on what they were going to do about money being in these campaigns and what's defeating us today. Check.
That is a very poignant announcement, Brother Carter. Yeah, I'm sure everybody on this call knows that they've strengthened Citizens United today. Twinkles down. All right, Delphine, you are next up for your check-in and any announcements you might have. Delphine, your mic is open.
Hi, everybody. Delphine Brody from Occupy Sacramento. Well, Brother Carter pretty much said it all as far as what we're up to, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow evening. I'm also here with Martha Chandley. The two of us are looking forward to getting started with some fundraising for the NatGat, and we encourage all of you to consider joining us in that effort in whatever way you would like to get involved. Each person has their special areas of knowledge, and if we put it all together, we can do things that we haven't been able to do before. So look forward to that. And one other update I wanted to mention is that Occupy Sacramento did vote in support of a resolution that we want to invite folks who were part of last year's discussions and dialogue about the need for undoing racism training to this year's NatGat, and also to put on an undoing racism training. That is, Occupy Sacramento is endorsing that such a training be presented. So I'm still waiting to hear back from a number of trainers, and I'm going to have to find other ways to reach people. But we are in the process of getting in touch with folks now to make some more concrete plans, and that will include fundraising in order to cover anyone's travel that may be required, but that may not be needed. Check.
All right. Well, that sounds like we're making progress on the anti-racism training, so that's great news. Thanks for that, Delphine. Kathy, you are up next. Your microphone is open.
Hi, this is Kathy, Occupy Sacramento. My group, we're working on foreclosures still, and we're going to have an action next week, and it's going to be a good one. Check.
Thank you very much for that, Kathy. And I just want to say it's really nice how it seems everybody in Sacramento is right next to one another on this board, so it makes things really easy, because Lisa, you're up next to check in.
Hi, I guess I'm sitting in the Sacramento section. This is Lisa with Occupy Sacramento, and I did want to tell Delphine that Claire Bayard from Catalyst did get in contact with me, and I think she still wants to talk to you about doing anti-racism training. And I think Catalyst is in the Bay Area. So if you want to connect with me after the call, I could send you her contact information. I check.
All right, thanks for that, Lisa. Gandalf, you are up next. Your mic is open.
Greetings, Occupy from Gandalf in Sacramento. Yeah, I'm steamed about the Supreme Court action. It's beyond. It's just beyond anything I can deal with. It's really the signs of this, the evidence of the plutocracy functioning. It's breathtaking and heartbreaking, and I see, it's the challenge for Occupy to break through somehow. I feel like we should impeach the ugly four on that bench, and it'd be a good start. Okay, I'm steaming. I'm sorry. That's it.
All right. Well, thanks for that, Gandalf. Yeah, I think a lot of us are a little steamed about it. I don't know if anyone saw, but there was a touch of humor in it. Lee Camp put out a really nice meme on the Facebooks that basically was an April Fool's joke, that what happened today didn't happen. And there was a petition, at the April Fool's that you could sign to try to stop it, but apparently it didn't work. So, yeah, it's a tough day. All right, Lou, you are muted, but you are up next. So if you can hear me, I'm opening your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
You can hear me? All right.
Yep, you're good.
Occupy Florida. I'll just be listening in. My phone's been kind of messing up, but I just want to listen in today. Might have to leave early. Okay.
Well, thanks for giving us some of your time, Lou. We appreciate it. Cal, you are up I'll be last but not least today. Cal, your microphone's open.
Excuse me. Hi there, folks. Let's see, a couple things. I'm not sure. I may be taking a step back from some of these calls after next week for a while. It seems to be happening every year that I do the first few and then I back away for a while and then I come back. Last year I had major surgery. I was away for about 2.5 months, but I'll probably keep my eye a little closer since I'm only 100 miles from Sacramento. And a couple of TA things while I got the mic. One is please remember to say check or I yield or I'm done when you're done. And also, as Chaz mentioned, we will be keeping time. Now that the introductions are over, we'll go ahead and set it up. So when you hear this sound, that means that you will have about 10 seconds left to wrap up what you're saying. So it's usually enough time to complete the sentence you're in and not to start a new thought. So if you feel like you have something else to say, then I suggest you get back on the stack again so that we have as much time to hear from as many people as possible. There was something else too. Oh yeah, the hand signals have been posted to the participant dashboard. So with that, I think I yield. Oh, no, that's right. I remember I thought Lisa mentioned my name. Was it me you mentioned? I actually had my headset off for 3/4 of a second. So if there was something you wanted to say to me, press 5 just so I know that with me you were talking about hanging out afterwards. And I may not be able to do it. We'll depend on how long the call goes because I have another call. Check.
All right. I think she was talking about Delphine, and she has some contact information to share. But if that's not true, we'll work it out before the end. All right. That is 13 out of 14 of us. I'll be the 14th to avoid the unlucky number. Chaz from Occupy Pittsburgh. We are working with the Wave of Action things going on this weekend. We're having our little mini meetup at our occupation site, and the next day there's a march being planned from people from the boonies, like outside of Pittsburgh, are coming down here, and they're going to have a nice march, and so I'm going to feed them, as every revolution needs food. I check with that, and it's about to get time to go into report backs. Thanks, everybody, for your checking in. All right, so to look over here, well, first, I guess, if anybody has any other announcements that they didn't get to or anything, go ahead and just put the number 1 up and announce away. Otherwise, we're going to move on to report backs. All right, so the report backs. Nobody has signed up on the agenda, but there are 5 different things. Now, one of them that I'm just going to do real quick is from Tech. I have an email here from Dallas Carter in Brooklyn. He is unfortunately unable to make it to the call. He might make it late, but he was wanting to give us a live walkthrough of the website on tonight's call. He's working on some last-minute text fix-ups so he can at least start promoting our website publicly this weekend. He's going to keep the list updated regarding progress, and we'll also have some basic documentation to register, log in, post content, etc. He's going to be sending out specific requests for help with content. I think there's a big lack of content for our website, so everybody keep an eye out on the website or the email lists. So everything's set up. It's just that there's only test content posted, and that is the report back from Tech. So if anybody would like to do a report back from media or something, well, let's talk to Carrie. Maybe she has a report back. Carrie, your microphone is open.
Thank you, sir. Yes, I can report back for the outreach group. Outreach and media call is on Saturdays for anybody that doesn't know or any new folks on the call. That's a Maestro InterOccupy call too, so you can sign up for those through InterOccupy. We meet on the phone on Saturday at 11:30 Pacific time, and then you all have to do the math. And this past week on the call, we pretty much discussed the outreach campaign, since we now have dates and can kind of start to pencil some things in. We did have, thank you Chaz, have the poster updated, the poster that we're working with right now. It's the Rising Phoenix one, if you all know what I'm talking about or have seen it. It's red and purple and yellow, and it's amazing. And so I've used that to start posting around to different Occupy Facebook pages to announce the dates and announce the project and invite anybody who wants to come and help plan, because we need lots of help to come on over. So there is a list, which unfortunately I cannot post for you right now, but in about a half an hour I will not be locked out of the council room anymore, and I'll go try and post the link to a Google Docs spreadsheet that was put together last year, I think, by a guy named Fred, I think. That's amazing. It's like 1,000 lines long, and it's a pretty comprehensive list of Occupies in the States and worldwide. And I've gone through, or several of us actually have gone through that list and at least kind of marked it as to whether the Occupy is active or not. And so now we need help from anybody that can and was willing to basically, it's a super mindless, easy thing to do, but what we need you to do is go through that list and post the poster on those Facebook walls. There is a little welcome paragraph that goes with it. It's super easy. It's just copy, paste, copy, paste. But what I suggest, too, to anybody that does this is to kind of go slow. First of all, don't spam your wall and get put in Facebook jail. And secondly, some people will contact you back, so you don't want to flood yourself with too many posts that you can't respond to. But it's been really positive. We've had a lot of feedback already. People are commenting and sharing out the poster, and hopefully maybe some of the new people on this call are a result of that, but still need tons of help. I have spent dozens of hours on this, and there's at least 100 more to go. So please, 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 anybody that can help, check the Google Doc link. It's in the there's a Facebook group for outreach too. It's posted in there, and I'll try and post it on the Titan Pad in about half an hour. I think that's all. Check.
Thank you for that outreach report back, Carrie. I'm so sorry I missed the call, but it sounds like it was really productive. So things are moving on, and I just got to say, when I see like all over the place, like our little invitation, our little memes are heading out to Occupies all over. You did get twinkles from Gandalf on that, so good news there. So let's see, we've covered outreach and tech so far. Is there anybody who has a media report back? I'm sure Carrie probably has a media report back too, but anybody else want to talk about like maybe on the ground media, like anybody working on that? All right, so if anybody does have a media report back later, please let us know. The next one on the list is the admin working group report back. Does anybody here want to give a report back for what admin working group is doing? Alrighty, and so we'll move down to the next one. This one is the finance working group, and someone just recently typed it in there, so I'm thinking somebody on this call wants to give a report back about finance. If you do, please press the number 1. Alrighty, and moving forward, the workshops and programs working group. Oh wait, I was reading a different screen. Where did those numbers come from? Who wants? Cal, did you see the numbers come up? Was that for?
I saw them coming up just as you were starting to move on to the next item.
Okay, so this must be about finance then, yeah. All right.
Probably a delay on your the screen updating.
Okay. Well, let's see here. Let's just open up. Let's see. We'll open up Brother Carter's mic first, then we'll go to Jackie, then we'll go to Kathy.
I'm here at Occupy Sacramento. I'm on the finance committee. Me and 2 other people. So I was talking to Kathy a little bit earlier, but I'll let her talk to you guys a little bit more about it. But I just thought it would be, instead of trying to set up another account or anything, this Occupy Sacramento account it's been there. So it's just no activity. So instead of going in a direction and try to set up a different account or another account, we have that one available, and that's the Sacramento Schools Credit. So check. I'll let you go to Kathy on the rest of it, because I know she's coming up.
Okay, that's really good information. We will go to Kathy next, and I know somewhere further down in this agenda there is a new business proposal about finance. So maybe this is what we're hearing a little bit of now. Kathy, your mic's open.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just going to say what Brother Carter said is that we've decided on using the Occupy Sacramento account, and we've got to get together with Jackie and see about the 503c3, and we could get that all together. Check.
All right. So it sounds like the finance working group is working. Jackie, you're the last on the stack here, and then we have an addition to the call. We'll be checking in with Zoe here shortly.
Okay, great. Hi. That's fantastic, Brother Carter and Kathy. I had reached out to OCSAC because that's sort of our first step. The finance team, maybe about 4 of us, have been responding and talking about different steps. I want to get it up. So we could take the agenda item off now that we've had 3 people talk about this, but I'd like to next week have us vote on which 501c3 to use. Janet of Occupy the Roads did just get theirs, so that sounded real good to me. And we do also have AFGJ, Alliance for Global Justice, who's offered from last year. So I just keep your eyes out for emails this week. I'll send out everything so people will be informed before the call, and then we can vote, and then hopefully within the next week we can get a donate button up and get things moving. And Brother Carter and Kathy and other folks at SAC, I'll chat with you on the emails too. Check.
Well, that is great news. Let's see here. Kathy has a direct response to what you said. Kathy, your microphone is open.
Okay. Stephen Payan has LACLA that has a 501c3, and if we go through them and use them, there's a possibility that they have a bus that we can use as well. Over.
Wow, that's great news for Transportation Working Group. Lots of twos springing up all over the place. So it sounds like next week's call, we're going to have a vote on what kind of nonprofit organization we're going to use for our donations. So that's good news. All right, so we have 2 new additions to the call, and so I'm going to just put all the hands down here quickly. And let's first go to Tricia, because I know her time is valuable, and it's good to have you on the call. Tricia, if you'd like to do a check-in, your mic is on.
Hey, just checking in from Philadelphia. I just finished my yoga class, teaching the yoga. But I want to just thank everybody for their hard work this week. We got some new people in media, which is cool. I was on the Worldwide Wave call. That's really cool. We're going to have something in Philly on Friday. So I'm hoping to reconnect with some Philly people and get some more local energy around the national gathering. Check.
Thanks for that check-in, Tricia. And yeah, it was great to hear. I heard Donna's voice. I heard Dallas on that Wave of Action call. So a lot of our people were on that call. So that's great news. Zoe, thanks for joining the call. You're here for a check-in. If you'd like to, please tell us where you're from, what Occupy you're with, and why you're jazzed about being on this phone call. Your mic is open.
Hi, I'm from Occupy Tampa, and I wanted to help with the media working group. I don't think I'll actually be able to go to the Occupy National Gathering, but I will hopefully be able to help with live streaming, and hopefully we can get a couple online discussion panels going. And I'd really like to include people from all over the world. There's people from different movements all over the world who would probably be really interested in talking with and working with Occupy groups.
All right. Well, thanks, and it's really great to have you on the call. It's great ideas. Let's see here. Lots of twinkles from Tricia and Carrie and Gandalf twinkled again. Good show. All right. So we are still in the report back section, and we're moving on. And I think we've talked about finance working group a lot. So next up is the workshops and programs working group. Is anybody available to give a report back from the people who are working on getting speakers and things like that? All right. Got Cal, your microphone is open.
Oh yeah, we're at the process of trying to schedule our first call. We kind of got off into another conversation while we were doing that, and I think we're going to be back on track. Since a lot of the people are on this call, I just want to say that out of the 9 people who are in that group, I think only 4 have responded to the survey with their availability for the call. So we need to get that happening so we can actually go ahead and schedule it. And hopefully we'll have another call. We'll have our first call hopefully by this time next week because we really need to get going with this group. Check.
All right, that's good news from the workshops program people. Jackie gave you some twinkles there, Cal, and Sally, you have joined the call. We are now up to 17 people. Sally, if you'd like to check in and any announcements you might have, your microphone's on.
Hi, yeah, Sally. Sorry I'm late. I'm here in Paramus with family and friend. I don't see a note taker listed on the pad. I can start doing that if no one has. And where are we in the agenda so far? Check.
All right. Thanks for volunteering to be our second note taker. We just haven't had time to put it onto the pad. but it's Julia, and she was really happy to maybe have somebody back her up. So if you could do that, that would be great. And as far as where we're at on the agenda is, I believe we just finished report backs. So if there's anybody else that would like to do any kind of report back from a group of people that are working, please raise your hand. And then, Julia, you are on. Your mic's on.
Hi, Sally. I am doing these notes, but I'm not that great of a note taker. And I didn't know about the pad, so it's not on there yet. I'll clean this up and then put it back up there. I'd hate for everyone to see my atrocious dyslexic spelling. However, we do have a recording of this, so if you want to review it and listen and do the note, do a polished notes, that would be great too. Check.
All right, thanks for that, Julia. Lisa, your microphone is open.
Oh, thank you. Yes, this is Lisa. Just a quick report back from Occupy SAC. We found out that the San Francisco Mime Troupe, they do a great, very funny and insightful and cutting and topical political humor, humorous musicals. They will be in Sacramento right when we are putting on the NatGat on the 2nd and the 3rd. So we're in the process now, and I'm hoping maybe at some time during this call we could take a temp check. If people would prefer they be here the 2nd or the 3rd, we can. I'm in touch with the person who's helping them schedule, and we can give our preference. And I'm hoping to involve them perhaps in the mime troupe in leading some kind of a workshop, and finally seeing if we could piggyback in some way off of their park permit to save us some money and get us a great park for that entire day. I check.
That is a great idea, Lisa. I know we did that last year in Kalamazoo. Somebody had a permit, and we piggybacked on them. Lots of twinkles there from Delphine, Gandalf, and Tricia. And then I believe we have a direct response from Jackie. Your microphone is on.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, and I know we have a chock-full agenda. Maybe we could do that temp check now. I think it'd be fairly, what's the word? A no-brainer. Check.
I totally agree. Let's see. Lisa, would you be able to just phrase a proposal for a temp check right now, and we'll take it right before we go to old business?
And the question is basically, would we prefer them to be there the Saturday or the Sunday? And I was thinking that Saturday would be better because I don't know if the shows are usually afternoon, like 2 to 4, 4:30, and I thought maybe on Sunday some folks might already be heading back. So anyway, for the question, if you would prefer that the mime troupe perform on Saturday, press number 2 on your keypad. If you prefer Sunday, press number 3. And if you're content with either day or don't really have a strong opinion either way, press 4.
All right, the votes are starting to trickle in. Just repeat them while people are voting. If you think Saturday is a good day for the mimes to do a skill share and a performance, please press 2. If you think Sunday is a better day, please press 3. And if it's not really concerning you, please press 4. We've got 11 out of 17 people voting so far. 15 out of 17 are just looking for Lou and Robert. I'm going to go ahead and count to 5, and if no votes come in, we'll just count that as a stand aside. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 16 out of 17 people voting. We have 7 for Saturday, 2 for Sunday, and 7, it doesn't really matter which day. So there you have it. I think that's a nice temp check. Cal, I'm going to open your mic because you're the professional on this. What's that look like to you?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Oh, just I think that the temp check is in favor of having the mimes do a skill share on Saturday.
Oh, Yeah, it's a shame I didn't have a chance to talk about it for a second, because for me, doing it on Sunday, given that Saturday is often the busiest day of each gathering, and just having so many things to do already, and especially if we're going to be spending a lot of time outside, having it on Sunday, kind of in the nearly afternoon, just feels, more entertainment-wise for me makes more sense. So I had wanted a chance to advocate for that. I don't know if anybody would change their minds as a result of that, but it would have been nice to have that conversation before we voted. Check.
Okay, that's good to hear that. Well, we do have Brother Carter on stack, so what have you got to say, and then we'll talk to Jackie.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. That's why I picked Sunday. And the last one that I went to here in Sacramento, I believe we did on a Sunday. It's a calm day. Everybody is relaxed. You get a chance to really enjoy it and really see what they're doing. Because, and like I said, they bring a lot of social awareness, and this would put everybody in a relaxed state instead of, on a Saturday, like my man just said, we will be rushing to other things and events, through the day, and this would just pass us by. And they have a very strong message in there, even though Lisa said it's humorous and everything, but it's a strong message that I think everybody would just put everything down and just sit back and watch the mimes. And the Sunday would be the most beautiful day to do that. Check.
All right, thanks for that feedback, Brother Carter. Let's see here. We've got Jackie Spling. Your mic is open.
Yes, I meant to ask about this when we chose the dates. Isn't it July 31st to August 3rd, which is Saturday? So I'm a little confused because usually it has gone till Sunday, and I never did clarify that. So maybe we can clarify that now. Check.
Sure. I think the Sunday is the 3rd. I can check real quick. Sorry, I did not have a calendar.
I just verified it. Sunday is the 3rd. Sorry to barge in. Yep.
No, that's great. That was my inclination as well. So there you have that, Jackie. All right, so we had 7 for Saturday, 2 for Sunday, and 7 standing aside. Let's see. Kyle, I'm opening your mic. Should we have another temp check after the discussion now? Would that make sense?
I think so. I mean, maybe people have changed their minds, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
I also wanted to say I love the San Francisco Mime Troupe. I got to see them about 5 years ago in Oakland, and they are just wonderful. And they're not mime. It's definitely verbal. So check.
All right. That's great to hear a little bit more about it. Lisa, you're on stack, so your microphone is open.
Okay, yes. Cal is right. I mean, they sing. It's musical political theater, as the way I would describe them. But anyway, I just wanted to ask a question. If it is on Sunday, and there's some good points been made for having it on Sunday, is there anyone just on this call that wouldn't be able to go? If they're going to NatGat, that they would have to leave too early.
I guess if you would not be able to stick around on Sunday in the afternoon, please put up the number 1. I know I'm going the whole way to Sacramento. I'm staying for a second. So nobody on this call is saying that they wouldn't be able to do it on Sunday. So that said, we've got Brother Carter on stack. So I'll open up your mic. What have you got?
I was just going to say to Lisa, because these guys are eco-friendly, energy, all of this, and maybe it'll be a good thing to also connect with that as far as what Karen and those guys are doing with the energy book that they're pushing, and then to bring the people that are involved with the fracking that is going on here in our state, and maybe we can bring all of that into the one day, to where it pretty much will speak for itself. So as far as the days, if we end up with Saturday, that's fine. Sunday, and I understand on Sunday because we want a day to where everybody gets the chance to view this, and they can take that home. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter with me now if it comes down to that, because I want everybody to get a chance to, to get a chance to see it. Check.
All right. Well, maybe what we could do is, table this for now. Oh, I guess this is my direct response. Then we'll get a direct response from Cal. We can table this for now. Maybe see what's better for the mime troop. Or we can do another temp check. It does seem like we don't have consensus, so I'm going to open up Cal's mic here with his direct response.
Yeah, my response is to Lisa. Do you think, maybe, given what Brother Carter just said, might it be a good idea to ask them if they have anything on fracking in the way of their material that they could bring? It'd probably be funny, but because it's timely. They might have something in their back pocket. Maybe not what they're necessarily going to be doing that weekend at their other performances, but if they had something on fracking they could bring to us, that might make it kind of extra sweet. Check.
All right. Let's see. We've got Sally with her hand up. Sally, your microphone is open.
Yeah, I was going to suggest what you did, Chess. Say we have good arguments for both days, so whichever they prefer, we can roll with. Check.
All right. So that said, I am going to go ahead and just table this. It wasn't on the agenda. It might have been a no-brainer, but nothing's that easy. So that said, I think that we can move on to old business. If anybody objects to moving on to old business, please put up the number 1. But we are 45 minutes into the call. All right. Brother Carter, your microphone is open.
Okay, to that last question, and I don't want to override Lisa, but there is. It's their show is called Oil and Water. And that's basically what we're talking about, with fracking, oil and water, energy. So they do have that agenda as far as to connect when we're talking about energy. Let's check.
All right, that's good news to hear a little bit more about the mime troop. It sounds really neat, so I'm looking forward to it. All right, nobody else has entered the stack, so I think we're moving on to old business. There is something it was old business last week, and I think it was put onto the agenda longer ago than that. And it was from Lisa, and we had a discussion about changing the time of this call. So, Lisa, I'm going to open up your mic. If you want to clarify that, I understand where you're coming from. We were going to have a vote, but we only had the doodle poll. So, Lisa, your microphone's open if you'd like to bring up that old business.
Oh, okay, yes. Thank you. I was wondering if there was a result from the doodle poll. It sounded like most of the people liked the call on this same day, so I suspect if we changed it, it might just be changing it by maybe an hour or so. Have you gotten, whoever has done the doodle poll, have you gotten any more feedback on that, or do you want to do a more refined doodle poll where maybe we just vote for different times on Wednesdays? I check.
Okay. All right. Cal has a direct response on that, so your microphone is open.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago it was a call that I wasn't able to be on, a Wednesday call, and I had posted the results of the doodle poll to the list of like a half an hour before the call, figuring somebody wanted to talk about it. And Jackie told me later that they never got to it on the agenda. I didn't realize that, and I kind of haven't been able to stay on top of it. Yeah, the general consensus was that 4 to 8 seemed to be the window, and that seemed to work for everybody. It was the only time that actually there was nobody who said no to of the people who responded to the poll, which is not everybody who's on the calls. I think it was 11 or 13 people or something like that. I don't remember. And then the other thing, so that's one thing. So I could put another doodle out that says, okay, 4 to 6, 5 to 7, 6 to 8, and see if we can do a runoff between those 3 times. I can do that next. I can probably get that out tonight or tomorrow at the latest, and we can get that solved. That would be the next logical step. Then, as far as daytime calls were concerned, not everybody, there was a group of people who voted for daytime calls, and I posted the results of that. I don't remember anything about it. I figured that whoever wanted to do a daytime call would take that information and then either suggest sometimes, or I could also do another runoff poll for a daytime call if that's what people want. So I'm not sure about the second part of that, but I will do the first part and just find out between 4 to 6, 5 to 7, and 6 to 8, which will work best. That's Eastern time. Check.
All right, that sounds really good, Cal. It sounds like we're narrowing it down now. We determined that Wednesday is probably the best day, and now there's a time window. So it sounds like we're going to get a doodle poll going to change the time and keep the day. So, Mamba, you're on Stack. I'm going to open up your mic. What have you got?
Okay, sorry, I have not been online. I don't know if I'm the only person from OWS on here, but Wednesdays are bad for me because we do we work with the People's Power Assembly, IQ Evolve, Occupy Action Council, and some other groups still in OWS. We meet with them on Wednesday from 6:30. Usually goes to about 8:30 or 9. So theoretically, 4 to 8 could work. And I don't want to be the only one that tries to change the calls, but if there is another time, because the calls usually conflict with that, and I would love, people, members of our group, want to be represented and, want me to report back on these calls. So if there is an effort to change the time, I hope we can, and or change the date. That would be great. That's it. Check.
All right, thanks for that, Simamba. Yeah, I know that it's changing the date seems hard. Changing the time seems possible, and we will make sure to get you the information about that doodle poll about the time change. Brother Carter has twinkled what you said, and so thanks for that feedback, Brother Carter. I'm gonna put the hands. And somebody just went on Stack. I think it was Sally. Sally, if you went on Stack, please press 1 again. All right. Yep, there you have it. Your microphone is on, Sally.
Yeah, in terms of I'm kind of thinking that maybe since this is part of that 4 to 8 range that we're in, although we run a bit over, maybe we want to keep this as is and set up a second daytime call. The only caveat is we need to be sure that there is somebody each week on both calls so that we don't go in different directions. And I don't know whether that could be a danger or whether that could be a good thing because we'd get more voices in. So check.
And that is what is the most important, is getting as many voices heard as possible. You got a little down twinkle. Oh, wait, you got a direct response. It's from Lisa. Lisa, your microphone's open.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Jackie, I'm pretty hesitant to endorse the second call for the reasons you mentioned. There would undoubtedly be different topics and different things would come up. You couldn't duplicate. And also, it's hard enough, it seems, to get people to facilitate and TA and take notes for one call. It might be difficult to do it for 2. I really think that sticking with one call is really the way to go. I check.
Yeah, you got twinkles from me on that one, and that was actually Sally you were responding to. Twinkles from Gandalf, twinkles from Nikki from Palm Springs, who's joined the call. We'll get a check-in from her shortly. Robert has twinkled on the one call idea, I think. Yeah, and so we have the direct response from Jackie. Jackie, your microphone is on.
Yeah, I just want to mention that towards the end of last year, like the last month before it was, I'm sorry. My phone just rang. Let me get rid of it. At any rate, it was necessary for us to have a second call because there was so much business to do. But by then, we had all worked together for a long time, and we just sort of, knew, and then we would make decisions pending bringing them back to the big call. So I guess I want to say that's something we could do maybe down the line in a month or 2. Check.
All right, so it does seem like we're moving towards the, changing the time, keeping the day kind of thing. Lots of twinkles from Trish and Nikki and Robert on that. Nikki, if you're able, I was going to open up your mic so you could do a little check-in, 30 seconds or so, and we'll get to hear your voice. Your microphone's on. Oh, might not be in a position to talk. All right. So, Nikki, if you'd like to say something, just get on Stack, and we'll call on you then. But otherwise, thanks for joining the call. Alrighty, so let's see here. That was the first item of old business. I believe we've moved through it. We are going to do another doodle poll. Cal has stepped up to send it out to see if we can change the time of the call on Wednesdays, which would be, it seems like that could help out a bunch of people. So if anybody does not want to, or let's see, if anybody has anything more to say about this, please raise your hand. If not, we're going to move on to the press release. So that's the next thing on old business. All right, so moving forward, okay, Cal, I've got you with your microphone open. What have you got?
All right, I just wanted to say I just created the poll. It's going to be sent out before this call is done.
All right. I think everybody is twinkling over that, even if they're not pushing the number 2. All right, so this is a relatively old agenda topic, and we have been actually working on it since January, as far as I recall. It is the press release, and it is located at natgad2014.titanpad.com/48. I've looked through it. I know a lot of people on this call have looked through it. There are 3 different versions to vote on. At that point, I'd like to open up for a quick discussion, maybe with a 1-minute time limit. We can all sort of weigh in on what we think about the press release, but that said, we should be deciding on which one we like so that we can put it out this Friday. Today's Wednesday. We have 2 days to sort of authorize our media people, our outreach people to do this press release. So that said, we're going to open up a discussion about press release. If you'd like to get on stack, please press 1. And Carrie, you have a direct response. I'm going to go to that first. Your microphone. Ooh, your microphone had some noise on it. Let me try one more time. All right, Carrie, your microphone's open for a direct response.
Better now? Thank you. I just wanted to, on the media call on Saturday, we did discuss the press release, and to be honest with you, I was late to the call. This is the first 45 minutes, but the part I caught was that we should not, what we discussed at length was that we should not put this out on Friday. That's a terrible day to do a press release. It's the news dump day. So it's not going to get reprinted at all, and we voted to try and put it out on Tuesday. And so I think we were supposed to bring that to the group, too, as part of the discussion. So just want to put that out there. And if anybody has any questions about that, I can explain further, but that's the media team's response to the Friday press release date. Check.
All right, that's great information from the Outreach Working Group. You got twinkles from Nikki, Sally, Gandalf, and somebody else. At any rate, I have a little stack here going for discussion. We're going to go from Sally to Jackie to Cal. Let's see here. Sally, your microphone is open.
Okay, yeah, I was just going to pretty much say what Carrie did. I also stuck the dates in the More Drafts Here number 2. And, yeah, I think we want it short and sweet, whatever it is at this point. Just a teaser. Check.
All right, that's great. Let's see here. Julia, I just saw you're on stack, so you'll come right after Cal. Jackie, your microphone is open.
Okay, yeah, I want to reiterate what Carrie said. Folks from last year will remember that the best days to get news or even emails, apparently, is Tuesday and Wednesday morning. But that's not why I put this on the agenda pad. I see that All Streets, which I didn't even know who it was saying there's a deadline for a press release. We're going to get the press release out. So I have 2 questions. Number 1, it's collaborative, and that's why it's on the pad. And if folks haven't worked like this before, anytime we put up a collaborative pad for these proposals, the unity statement, the press release, anybody can go in there, add what you want. You copy paste, you don't change other people's stuff. And, and then together we all pull something out of it. The second thing is, where is it going to come from? If All Streets was doing it, I don't know anything about the mechanics of where are they sending it. Is it going from email? Previously, and that's something for the group to decide. I'm not pushing that, but last year we sent everything out through the Civi, which is the huge database that InterOccupy has, that has all the occupations. The newsletter list reached 35,000 people. I think the occupations reach 3,000 or 4,000 people. Plus, there's press release contacts, which we should probably develop a new one for this year. But there is a list of about 35 press in this Civi database, which is like its own little group. You click on it and send them the email. The good part about the Civi is that it all looks like individual emails from NatGat to, the New York Times. Whereas when you send it by email with CCs and that, I hear a lot of press people, if there's a ton of CCs, they just don't even look at it. They throw it out. If it's BCC'd, the same thing. So that's pretty much what I wanted to find out is, number one, who's going to send it out? And if we are, then, I need to make some arrangements, get it set up in the Civi and all that. But mostly to decide what we're going to send out also. Check.
All right. Well, I know Carrie has lots of information on that. It seems they're working on that in the outreach media call, so that's good news. Again, if you have a direct response for Jackie, and then we're going to have Cal and Julie on stack.
Yeah, sorry. Repeat that email address for the press release slowly so that I can get it down.
Absolutely. The press release is in a Titan pad, and it is NatGat 2014, the numeral, .titanpad.com/48. And you type that into the browser, that should get you right in. All right, so next up on stack is going to be Cal. Cal, your microphone is on.
Oh, I almost dread saying this. So when we were talking about whether August 3rd was a Saturday or Sunday, it occurred to me that I never even thought about this when we were doing the dates thing, whether we're doing a 4-day gathering or a 5-day gathering. And I guess right now we have it set up so that we've announced a 4-day gathering. I just want to check and verify with this group that that's everybody's understanding. This is a 4-day gathering that starts on Thursday rather than a 5-day gathering that starts on Wednesday. So right now it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as opposed to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday. So I think we should get that clear. Just make sure we're clear before we do a press release. Check.
I hear that, and the delay coming with changing it to next Tuesday or Wednesday will buy us that time we need. We've got direct responses from Delphine and then Lisa, but real quick, I'm just going to go to Julie so she does not forget why she was on stack. Julie, your microphone is open.
Okay. I agree that the release date of the press release is very important. Of course, a small press release and a larger, in-depth press release could be done. That always makes it convenient for any reporter that would just like to kind of slap it together and put it in. I think it's very important that of the 35 press contacts that some are picked, 10, 15, 20 are picked and nurtured. Make an effort to sit down and even just make sure that you have called them if you have the numbers or said hello to them through a regular email. And so I think that's pretty important to nurture the press contract tax. Check.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to the direct responses to what Cal had to say. We're going to do Delphine, followed by Lisa. Or Delphine, if you had a response. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just taking myself off mute. Yes, this is Delphine. I just wanted to make sure that in the press release, I do agree that it's a 4-day gathering as we discussed it, but I want to make sure that the press release makes room for the Undoing Racism or similar training that we are likely to have scheduled for July 30th, the day before the gathering or thereabouts. And it's not, I guess I need to follow up with Lisa about the details if we have more details, but I want to make sure that is not left out, even though that's not part of the gathering itself. Chuck.
All right, thanks for that. Well, Lisa's next with a direct response, followed by Jackie, so maybe she'll clear that up. Lisa, your microphone is open.
Oh, it was the same thing Delphine said. I check.
Perfect. All right, moving forward, we've got Robert has twinkled something. I think it was probably Delphine. Let's see, Jack, you have a direct response. What have you got?
Okay, what I wanted to say, and we don't really have to do it now, when folks go into the pad to look at it, is I'd like us to get on board with how we are going to sign ourselves, and then stick to it the rest of the year. There's a few suggestions in there. One is NatGat 2014 and Occupy Sacramento. Last year we'd put the NGWG, the National Working Group. And then underneath, say, the NGWG, is comprised of Occupy Sacramento on the ground and occupiers and allies, whatever wording after that. So if folks can put in ways they think that we should sign ourselves, and then we can just stick to that. And as far as certainly nothing to exclude anyone, I think this first press release is just, bam, we're having the gathering. It begins on these dates. Keep your eye out. And then we can start writing things up as we have confirmation of them. Another thought, Delphine, maybe in the real near future, you could write up, any of you on this whole call, and I really encourage it so we start getting stuff out. Write up some short news releases, and we can get them right up on the hub and the website. Like, here's what we're doing, and yay, we're bringing this group, and keep your eye open, So it'd be great if anybody can do that. I'll do the posting, or Dallas, one of the other tech people, but if people can start writing up stuff that's happening, I think it'll get a lot of interest going. Check.
All right, that's great news. I do know we have lots of media people asking questions. Jerry Ashton is really excited to put out the press release. The people on the National Occupy Media Call on Thursdays want to put out a press release. So yeah, we're going to have lots of people that want to put it out. We just need to get it done. Real quick here, we got Cal. You've got a direct response, and then we're going to have Sally on stack, and I'm going to clear the hands after that.
So my comment is, this is to Delphine, or response to what Delphine said. You may or may not have been on the call where we talked about having multiple press releases. This is just the first one. I think we should mention that we're going to have an anti-racism training before the call. I think we can leave the details out, because I don't think until you know who the trainer is going to be and how long it's going to be, whether it's a one-day training or more than a one-day training and all of that. So I prefer to keep it, just mention it as, as part of the larger picture, but not highlight it yet until we do one of the other press releases down the road, because we're going to do multiple press releases, and we can have press release, even a press release that also just says that, national gathering to feature, blah, 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 or to be preceded by, or whatever. Then we can actually have a special press release just for that. So my suggestion is we keep the details of it out. We don't say exactly when it's going to be, but just say it's prior to the gathering, because we don't know any details yet. Check.
All right, thanks for that. Lots of twinkles are on the board there for that, Callie. Twinkles from me. Let's see here. Sally, you're starting a new stack. I'm just going to see where we got with this discussion so far, because we're about 10 minutes into it. The dates are the 31st through the 3rd. That's 4 days, and a press release might not be a good day on Friday, so we're thinking about doing it next Tuesday. That said, we're going to open up the new stack here. Same topic. Sally, your microphone is on.
Yeah, remember that Occupy Media our press call on Thursday afternoons. We certainly have folks there who are going to want to help us get the word out too. Check.
Yeah, that would be great if we could tell them next Tuesday's the day, for example, or whatever. So let's see here. Jackie, you're on stack. Your microphone is open.
Yep, sorry for being a response hog. Just one other thing is, how will we know if we want to put it out Tuesday and we don't have a call to Wednesday, how will we decide on what the press release is? And I'm going to be gone like all weekend, so I can come back and do it on Monday, but so anyway, how are we going to decide that? Or are we going to put it off another week? Check.
All right. Well, I have a neat idea about that. I think that we could open this up to a temp check to delegate it to the media outreach people who have a call on Saturday and who are the ones that wanted to change the day and have been doing a lot of the work on it. If anybody objects to this temp check, please press the number 1. All right, so we're just going to do a quick temp check here. it'll go like this. If you think that it's a good idea to let the media and outreach working group go ahead and decide on a press release and maybe run it through the email threads to let us know what it's going to be, press 2. If you think that we really need to wait until after next Wednesday so we can talk about this more on the big call and have a vote on it before we do the press release, press 3. And then if you stand aside, please press 4. Once again, it's 2 to give autonomy to the media working group, 3 to reserve the autonomy for the larger group, and 4 to stand aside. We have 10 hands up out of 18 total participants on the call. In about 15 seconds, if you haven't voted, we'll just count it as a number 4. I do have one down twinkle here. I'm going to open up Donna's mic real quick and get some feedback while the votes are rolling in. So Donna, just let us know 30 to 60 seconds why you don't want to defer autonomy to the media working group.
I'm sorry, I must have misunderstood the vote. I just thought that meant that I think I misunderstood what I voted.
Oh, I can probably clarify it a little bit more, but it's we're thinking media working group wants to do the press release on Tuesday. Now, prior to that, we plan to do it in 2 days from now. They have a call coming up on Saturday, and if they could iron everything out by Tuesday, we'd have it going. So the vote is about 2 if you think that's a good idea to let them work it out and then send it out on Tuesday, and then 3 if you want to have us all wait till next Wednesday to bring it back to the big call, vote on it, vote on the press release, and then send it out. I guess it would be 2 weeks from now or 13 days from now. So, all right. So we do have lots of people, and I need to vote. And so what the numbers are telling me is that we have 9 people in favor of deferring autonomy, 1 is not too sure about it, 2 standing aside, along with 2 or 6 other people that did not vote. So that's 8 not votes. So 9 for, 1 against, and looks like 8 abstaining. So I'm going to open up Cal's mic again because he is the master of understanding temp checks. Cal, what am I looking at here? I see a lot of...
So that's what you meant by my being professional. I didn't get that before. I really do think that because the numbers don't show up sometimes, that not pressing a button should never be considered an abstaining vote. But it's up to you. Maybe on something like this, it doesn't matter. They can get on the stack if they object. As long as I have the mic open, I just want to make sure that what we just voted for, you did say it the first time but not the second time, that they would run the intended press release through the list so we could take a look at it, give them any comments or feedback. We're not just granting them the authority to send it out sight unseen. We want to at least have a look at it and be able to make comments back to them. That's my understanding of what we just voted on. Correct? Check.
That is absolutely correct. And, for anybody that's not listening, it's natgat2014.titanpad.com/48. Anybody who wants to connect with the people working on this can go to that pad and, do whatever. So that's, and then hopefully, it will get sent through the email lists. So there you have it. So with those votes in, and, sometimes people don't vote because they're not actually listening to the call or they really don't want to. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just say that this is passing a temp check. If there are any objections to that, please press the number 1, and we will discuss it further. Otherwise, we're going to defer a little autonomy to the media people. All right, then. So there you have it. That took about 15 minutes or so. We got some sparkles from the media working group. Thanks for stepping up, and because what we just did was defer responsibility to have to do work as well. So at any rate, let's see here. We got a stack forming here with Sally at the top of it. Sally, your microphone is open.
Yeah, I just wondered, Jackie had mentioned the signature. I like her proposal of NatGat, and it consists of, do we want to do a temp check on that now, or do we want to leave that to media as well? Check.
Nobody is twinkling or down twinkling. I personally don't want to make that proposal, but if you'd like to, Sally, just press the number 1 and we can have a temp check on it if you like. Alrighty, I've got a direct response from Cal. Cal, what have you got?
Sorry, for some reason I kept pushing that button and it didn't happen. I mean, I have to. I'm probably going to stand with Jackie on this because I feel like we, the planning group, should be able to say how we are referred to. So that little piece, I think we should have the autonomy to be able to say that. Check.
Sure. I highly encourage anybody who wants to have feedback on how to sign the press release to please submit a statement onto the planning pad, the Titan pad with the press release on it, and there it will be considered by the media group, and everybody can sort of, oh no, somebody just put up a 1 that got booted off the call. All right, so yeah, it looks like, I mean, I think we could work this out in the next 5 days pretty easily, especially with people working on it. So that said, we did lose somebody. Hopefully when she comes back, she'll remember that she was on stack. That said, unless anybody has an objection, we're going to move on to the next most important thing on the old business, which is the visioning statement, which we've been working on since January. So that said, if anybody does object to moving on to the next bit of old business, please press the number 1. Oh, there, it was Nikki. Nikki, your microphone is on.
Hey, I agree with Cal on the signatory. I think that this group's decision has how it's signed. I like the autonomy for the media and outreach, but definitely I think at least a dialogue about that here. Over.
Okay, we've been on this about 20 minutes now, but let's see. From the signatures I've heard, it's sort of like, you know, is it Occupy Sacramento or whatnot? I'd encourage you, Nikki, if you're online, to get to that Titan pad and put in a recommendation. Otherwise, we can, if you'd like to form a temp check, we can have a temp check. I'm just, I'm not in a good position to make that proposal. So we have twinkles from Cal about something either Nikki or I said. I'm going to put the hands down. Nikki, if you'd like to form a temp check on this, please do. Put up a number. Oh, there we go. We got Cal is open mic.
So it's a process point. Nikki, you were off the call when he suggested his response to what I said was to go to the pad and have a dialogue with the folks there. I'd like to try that and not spend any more time on this call with it. So I actually twinkled to Shaz's suggestion. So I prefer not to bother with the temp check and move on because we have so much else to talk about. Check.
All right. Well, thanks for that, Cal. I appreciate it. And Nikki has got the twinkles up, so it seems we're moving on to the visioning statement. Let's see here. I'm going to put all the hands down and the visioning statement. Brian Heater did a lot of work on this initially, and it is a pretty nice thing. It looks like Occupy Sacramento has added a lot of content to it. It's a rather large document. It is located at natgat2014.titanpad.com/20. So if anybody'd like to look through there, if you haven't yet, it's you know, it's rather long read. I don't know that we're going to come to any kind of you know, consensus on if it's good or not, but the visioning statement, as far as my understanding, is something that, you know, we're going to attach to our website. This is going to be content for the website to let people know what it is we're actually trying to accomplish. So that said, I think we should open up like a 15-minute discussion with maybe about 60 seconds per person that wants to talk about the visioning statement. Please press 1 to get on stack, and we will go to points of process first. Cal, your microphone is on.
Sorry to do this. Sally, or whoever it is taking notes, you're actually taking notes on the wrong document. Can you move those, copy and cut and paste those over to pad number 7, because that's actually the notes pad. You're pasting them into the agenda pad, which I think is going to make it very hard for the facilitator to keep track of where we are. So let's keep the agenda just the agenda. We should probably rename that so it doesn't say "and notes." But yeah, number 7 is where we've been putting the notes. Check.
Sally has twinkled on that. I twinkle on that. It was making it difficult because my agenda kept moving. I'd look over and I'd see the notes occurring. So anyway, thank you for fixing that, Sally. I appreciate it. So far, we've got Julia on stack to talk about the visioning statement. You're new, so maybe you got to read it, maybe not. Your microphone's open. What have you got to discuss?
Hi, I've not gotten to read it, but I did participate pretty heavily in the Million Man March. And one of the things that I get a lot of feedback on is addressing the Culling Corruption campaign and addressing corruption. Many things would sort themselves out if corruption was closely addressed. And I want to be sure and let everyone know that's what I am passionate about. And a lot of the groups that I work with are, and the transparency issue of the government being transparent, addressing the corruption and transparency in the fracking, in the oil industry. Not that fracking should even be occurring, but in the oil industry would go a long way in correcting problem. Not everything's perfect, of course, but it, transparency and addressing the corruption needs to be part of the visioning statement. That it becomes part of our culture and part of who we are as a people. Check.
I totally agree with you on that, Julia. There is one little bit about transparency. I think it's like point number 11 on there, which is it's good. We're thinking in that direction. I didn't see anything about corruption so much. I'd like to ask a question because the stack is open. Is there anybody on this call that has been working on the visioning statement? Lots of people seem to be commenting there. I'm not sure who they are, but if you are working on the visioning statement, please press the number 1. We'll go with Sally first. Sally, your microphone is open.
Yeah, you'll see under one of the draft sections I have made some comments. I have transferred some of people's suggestions up into the main section and put in a couple of words of my own along the way. Nothing major, really. Check.
Thanks for that, Sally. We have Lisa up next. Your microphone is on.
Okay, thank you. This is Lisa. I'm not actually working on it, but I know Gandalf had drafted something that seemed like it could be a statement or part of a statement. So, Gandalf, have you gotten anywhere with your vision statement? I check.
Gandalf, your microphone is open.
Yes, I've got a couple of things. I put down the address that I'm supposed to mail them to, so I'll get on that, and I'll offer a couple of at least one cohesive statement about at least my vision. I'm always unsure about Sacramento speaking for NatGat. I guess we all have an equal voice, and everybody's voice is kind of on par, so I'd be happy to make an offer. I yield.
Yeah, I'm going to leave your microphone open real quick, Gandalf. Do you have access to the Titan pad? Have you seen that yet?
Let me see. Yeah, the one with 20.
Yeah, the one with 20. So that is.
I just discovered that right now. So on this call. So.
Okay, no, that's great.
Next project.
It is. It's sort of like swimming, right? It's you're swimming through information. I just found it in my research to do this call. I'd seen the visioning statement before, but to go to the actual pad. So I see that people are using the pads. Let's see. We got a stack forming here. We're going to go to Brother Carter, followed by Jackie.
Yes. I just had an idea. Actually, it worked off of my document, and what I mean by that, I have a document when I came into the Occupy movement when they were developing it. Then they opened the library for anybody that had their own personal stories of, what connected them to the Occupy movement when we started. And this here in my story is about a coin, but the vision of it is the story is called the Discovery and Recovery. And the reason why I been using this now and seeing, because I think that's basically where we're at, to the discovery of all of these things that are taking place, and how do we come together to recover, to make a statement that we're the people. At the end of the day, we matter, we count. The issues that we're taking up, it's about us. The people, we the people. So the discovery and recovery, as far as for Envision, I think would be the more simple and broader understanding that could bring people, to the common ground of, understanding of this, because that's where we're at today. All of these things that hold the urgencies around us that we're all working on. And I'll leave it at that, because I can go on and on. Check.
No, thanks for that, Brother Carter. The dings are always so disturbing to me. I'm like, oh my goodness, he's still speaking. But no, thank you for that. We've got Jackie up next, followed by Sally. Jackie?
Yes. I don't have too much to add, except that, let's see. Well, I guess I do. When I first read the vision statement, it's a well-written piece of work, but I kind of got the feeling it was very generic and didn't actually speak about this NatGat. But that's fine if everybody wants to go with it. But I just wanted to mention that, and that below that on that pad, as well as another whole pad, if you go looking throughout the pads, there are the former proposals from Philly and from Kalamazoo. Like, I could forget Kalamazoo. And now I know we formed it a different way this year. Other years, like Occupy Philly put out a proposal. We want to do this. You come. Who will endorse us? Who will come on board? Kalamazoo, we sort of did the same thing. Kalamazoo wrote it up, then the National Gathering put their input, and then it went out as all of us. So I think it'd be great if something did come from OCSAC that we all signed on to. And also, in addition or in lieu of that, we could have three. We could have a vision statement, we could have a proposal, and we could have various statements from OCSAC. Nothing's out of the, off the table. So check.
All right, thanks for reminding us that the vision statement / proposal is sort of the same thing. Let's see here real quick. We've got twinkles from Nikki and Donna for what you just said, and Sally, your microphone is on.
Okay, mine was a logistics practical issue for the folks who are having trouble figuring their way through the Titan pads. There is one awesome Titan pad that Jackie put together called the Titan Pad Table of Contents, and it is number 46. And it lists every Titan pad we have, and they are legion and they are useful. So check it out, bookmark that page, and you can find your way around all the rest of them. Check.
All right, yeah, that's the table of contents one was really nice. Let's see, we have a direct response from Delphine. Your microphone is on.
Hi, Delphine here. At the Occupy Sacramento retreat, where we were brainstorming and discussing ideas for the national gathering, we were talking about things that are similar to the list of 15 principles that are in the vision statement draft, and we kind of condensed and combined them down to 3 different principles, which is perhaps, I don't know, a very small number that had a lot of sub-bullets, but it was a different way of organizing it than we see here, but it incorporated some of the same concepts, and I'm just wondering if we should attempt to offer those as suggestions here. Also, I'm wondering, Gandalf, if you got those typed up yet for folks, or sorry to be asking this of folks in Sacramento now instead of before this call, but check.
All right. This is old business. It's just on the agenda. I don't think anybody particularly proposed we speak about it, but it is good we're having this conversation. Gandalf, did you have anything to say to that? Your mic's on.
just on a conference call. I can't. I'm stuck here for a second. Can you get back to me?
Yeah.
Give me.
Yeah, real sorry. Sorry about that. I'll give you more warning next time. All right, then. Let's see here. Lots of twos for what you said, Delphine. And Brother Carter is going to talk here for a second, then we'll go to Gandalf, just because this is great to hear what Occupy Sacramento has to say. Brother Carter, your mic is on.
I just want to reiterate and apologize first to Gandalf and the visioning group, because I wasn't here over the weekend. I was out of town in Los Angeles, so I didn't really get a chance to reiterate, and then I still don't know what everything looked like that you guys are talking about. As far as on computer, I don't have a computer in front of me, or, like I said, I if there is a vision statement out, I haven't. So that's why I spoke on the document that I have that proceeds to some of the stuff that we're doing. So I didn't get a chance to endorse and share that. But I'm not going to put mine before that. I'm going to wait until I see what Gandalf and everybody else has done here, in this past week in Sacramento. And crew, my people, I love you. My only thing is I haven't got it. So somebody needs to get that to me. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Check.
All right, that's great to hear. Let's see here. We've got a little stack working. We're going to go with Tricia and then Jackie. Tricia, you had a direct response.
I think it's great to distill those 15 down to 3, because we really do need key messages. That will help focus our work, and that will help us to deal with the media. Just 3 or 4 messages, and you're supposed to say them enough times that you're just sick of hearing yourself say them. Then you're really getting through. So I'm interested in hearing what Occupy Sacramento came up with, and using them as our key messages in media, and also using them to branch out in content, because the web people are ready to go live. Dallas couldn't get on the call, but he needs the website's ready, but it all has text in it. So if we get those 3 or 4, and then we maybe even become writers and content producers, all of us, if we have an issue that we think, and we can put it in different places on there. So this is a time to distill, and then we're going to branch back out. So I'm excited to hear what they came up with. Check.
All right, that does sound really good. You got twinkles from Julia, from Savannah on that, and I read the email from Dallas for a report back from tech, so people on the call are aware of their content situation. Let's see, Gandalf, I'm going to go to you next. We're going to have Jackie have a direct response, and then Gandalf, you can address what's going on in Sacramento. Jackie, your microphone is on.
Okay, yeah, this is direct response to Sally mentioning the table of contents. And you need to be signed in to access that. You know how you can go to the pads without being signed in, but you need to sign in to find the list of pads and then all these other pads. Everyone, the first 30 people I set up as admins, I think I've lost track of any new people. So if you don't know if you have an account or you don't know how to sign in, get a hold of me either on the list or, privately through email. Splain, SPLAIN, @interoccupied.net. Check.
Thank you for that clarification. Gandalf, what have you got to say about the visioning statement?
Yes. It turned out to be a lot more difficult to put together than I had anticipated. I've transferred all the issues that we brought up. There's more than 70 of them. And along with the attempt to kind of divide it up into reasonable sections that are understandable. But as I went through it, it has been a challenge. I've got about 10 pages of attempting to get all the statements that were made into the conversation. But I'm at this point working on essentially smoothing it into a statement rather than a lot of individual statements. I'm trying to, as hard as it is, I'm trying to smooth it into one document, and it was more difficult than I anticipated. I'm still in the process, and I'm hoping for some assistance on the typing part. I can write like the wind, But when it comes to me trying to put something into a document on the web, it's a monumental struggle for me. Kind of like waterboarding, actually. But nonetheless,
it seems like you're going to get a lot of help after this call, because I'm very interested in getting this going, and we have 2 direct responses, both from Sacramento. Let's go to Lisa, followed by let's see. Well, we'll go to Lisa, and then there's a technical problem. So.
Oh, okay. Gandalf, actually, what I was referring to was that wonderful, wonderful visioning statement that I think you read it on the call. You may have written it even before we had the retreat, and I don't think you have to list absolutely everything that we talked about. I think the visioning statement to me is something broader and all-encompassing rather than just a laundry list of issues that we're interested in. The second thing I wanted to say is if you could get in contact with Martha Chandley, I believe she has a computer there at her place that she may be able to help you with getting that typed up and posted online. I check.
All right, thanks for that, Lisa. And just to remind everybody, we've hit about the 15-minute mark on this discussion. I've got 2 people with direct responses. It's Delphine and Cal, but first we're going to go to a technical problem. Lou, you got the number 5 up. Is that intentional?
No.
Sorry. All right, well, good to hear your voice. All right, let's see here. Let's go to Delphine, followed by Cal, and then if anybody else wants to get on stack, please press the number 1.
Thank you. This is Delphine from Occupy Sacramento, and thank you for your hard work, Gandalf, in both putting together the retreat and taking those notes from our many pages of notes. I wanted to just suggest that rather than trying to further collapse all of our work into one seamless statement, it might be better to present it as an organized laundry list, organized to the degree that we did by categorizing each of our I guess issues that we wanted addressed within the NatGat within three broad categories of principle. From memory, I think that the three broad categories we agreed on that we were able to subsume everything into were civil rights and anti-oppression work, for one, and then democratic. Democracy, corporate accountability, and economic justice. I think, or it was called democracy and economic justice was the second one, and the third one was environmental health and justice. So within those three, we semi-arbitrarily put everything else under them in kind of organized bullets, and I think that laundry list has value in terms of kind of comparing with the principles we have now and thinking about ways we could subsume them in under fewer bullets and come up with three neat little principles that we want to uphold, and that'll make it a little easier to read and maybe even a stronger vision statement, but just an idea. And so I would not worry too much about about trying to make everything flow, because it is many people's ideas that we were mulling over. Chuck.
All right, thank you for that, Delphine. Let's see here. You got twinkles from me, Jackie, and Lisa on that. Let's see, Cal, I've been neglecting you. I'm sorry, I had a direct response to something that happened like 10 minutes ago. Cal, your microphone is open.
This is kind of a non sequitur. Why don't you call on me when this particular sub-thread is done, because I don't want to interrupt the flow, and then come back to me. Check.
Okay, well, the final response we have is from Gandalf. Gandalf, your microphone is open.
Yeah, it sounds like we're working on two separate entities here. That statement that Lisa's referring to that I read a couple of weeks ago, that is no problem. I'm planning on sending that in as it is. As far as putting together the work product of the retreat, I'm just forced to do the best job that I can, and it doesn't fall easily into three categories for me when I start pouring through it and trying to figure out how to represent what went on there fairly. I have 6 essentially: poverty and inequality, racial oppression and all social discrimination, the economic, financial, corporate, social system, nonviolence, national, international, and personal, the unjust judicial system, including police and prisons, and ecology, food, land, water, and air. And that pretty much covered all the statements that were made, the 75 or so. And so it's going to take me a little while to produce this. I will put that first vision statement in as soon as possible within the next day or so. But this one is still going to take me some time. Also, thank you very much for the idea of using Marsha to help me type it up, because that's critical here. I can do the written part in the next day or so, but the typing might take me a month or two. So anyway, that exaggerated. Forgive me. All right, I yield.
Oh, all right, thanks for that, Gandalf. After that, we've got, let's see, there's the Twinkles from Tricia, direct response from Jackie, followed by Brother Carter, who's on stack. Jackie, what's your direct response?
Gandalf or anybody else, if I'm always willing to help with typing, editing, so if you don't get any help real quick, just send it to me and I can plow through it, send it back to you. And then my other suggestion was to get it on a Titan pad or out to the email list as soon as you have like something together. Check.
All right, that sounds good. Let's see here. Brother Carter, you are on stack. Your microphone is open.
Yes, I want to reach out to my sister Delphine. I haven't had a chance to get this document to you, and the other part is to the transition of it to get to everybody else on this call. I don't have a computer. I'm a dinosaur. So in relation to this document here is somebody that I'm trying to get here for the NACAT, if it's only for a day. But to have him come in and speak on this racism area that we keep touching. And what it is, it's a document that's Democratic Social Perspectives towards a Socialist Theory of Racism by Cornel West. He's honorary chair for the Socialists of America. Now, in saying that, I'm just going to read this one brief part to you, but the elements of the whole thing, it touches the things of Marxists but in the relationships of all of the cultures, even in the indigenous of this theory. But I'm just going to read the one part because we don't have much time, and I want to keep it short. What is the relationship between the struggle against racism and socialist theories and practice in the United States? Why should people of color active in art and anti-racist movements take dramatic socialism seriously? And how can American socialists today learn from the inadequate attempts by socialists in the past to understand the complexity of racism? And that there, I'm going to leave it at that. And then I want to get this document over to my people so that you guys can take this up, because I haven't got it in your hands. And then let's see how we can touch bases on when we talk about racism, you know what I'm saying, in these racism classes, because it's very important, you know, that everybody is included and that we're on the right page, you know what I'm saying, with one another when they're having that discussion so that it don't take a lot of time. Check.
Thank you for that, Brother Carter. You got a lot of twinkles on that one, including myself, Jackie, Tricia, and others. So let's see here. We've definitely spent 20 minutes on this item. It's a very good discussion. I'm glad we are having it. I don't think there's any real temp check necessary. We're moving forward with the visioning statement. We've introduced some new people to the Titan Pad that's working on that, and now we've heard a lot of good things coming from Sacramento, which is, I think, what a lot of us wanted to see at any rate. So that said, I'm pretty much moving forward. We have 3 proposals on this old business of agenda, and so I'd like to spend the last 15 minutes on that. It could be quick. It might take forever. But real quick, Cal, I promise to come back to you. I'm going to open up your mic and see what we're doing. What have you got?
Oh, God. This is from so long ago when we were talking about the table of contents, Pat. I just wanted to say, this is for Jackie and everybody else, I set up a copy of that table of contents pad, which is called natgat2014.titanpad.com/table of contents with hyphens between the words. So you don't have to remember number 46 for the index. I might just change it to index or something like that, so we can just say natgat2014.titanpad.com/index. But I'm going to put something up so we can remember it easily. That way, if you forget all the numbers, you know you can go to the index pad and you'll find the index to everything or the table of contents. Check.
All right, we have a direct response from Lisa.
Oh, yes. Cal, it would be most helpful if the table of contents was the very, very first thing that you come to. Is there some way you can do that by, like, maybe putting the letter A in front of it, you know, A and then a dot, or if there's a way you can pin it to the top? I check.
All right, let's see here. That was a question for Cal, but Jackie has a direct response. So let's see there. Jackie, what have you got?
No, there isn't. The way the Titan Pad is that the most used rise to the top, which kind of makes sense. So if you're working on things, they'll be at the top, but something like that falls down to the bottom. So sorry about that. Check.
I think traditionally indexes anyway. Table of contents are in the beginning, indexes are at the end. So anyway, all right. So we're moving forward there. Let's see. So I want to jog this along. So if anybody has an objection of moving on to the next item of old business, which has 3 parts, please press the number 1. All right. So we're gonna talk on our week off. Everybody's homework is to talk to everybody about the visioning statement and get those ideas out there quick. Cal, you have a point of process. Your microphone is on.
I noticed that we've lost already 4 of the 18 people, and if you're going to be talking about voting on proposals, I think we should prioritize what we're going to do, because unlike last week where we only lost 2 people and both of those people got lost after we decided to extend the call time, I'm concerned that we vote on something after the top of the hour. We might have to invalidate it because we only have 2/3 of the people left. So I think we got to prioritize what we do for the next 12 minutes. Check.
Thank you for taking the time to mention that. I do not intend on doing any voting, but I'm not sure if it will come up. But if we move forward to it, then we'll know in a definite way. So nobody has objections to moving forward to the next item of business. This is old business from 319. And it has to do with our friends working with us from All Streets. It's an artist collective. The first question I'd like to ask, is there anyone on this telephone call who is working with All Streets that knows what their proposals are? I mean, the proposals are written down. They're in the email list and things. I just need to know if anybody wants to make these proposals. So please press the number 1 if you feel comfortable speaking about what they want. Sally, you have number 1. Your microphone is open.
Okay, I can't say that I'm 100% in that capacity, but I will tell you that I do have a envelope of materials from All Streets that was relayed to me by Dallas, including the Rising Sun artwork and some other very informal, literally back-of-the-envelope sketches. And I was the one who took the JPEGs that they submitted of these 3 proposals and typed them into text and passed them around the email list. They came with my editorial comments, And that's all I know. Check.
All right, and you're referring to the main email list for the NatGat working group, right? The big email list.
NG-2014 at list.interoccupied.net. NG-2014. One of them went to NG 2014 outreach because it was specifically designated to the outreach group, but it went with a note saying, if you want to see this one, I'm not hiding anything, send me a request, and one person did, and I sent that out. Check.
Okay, thanks for that clarification, Sally. I'm sure that that email thread, if anyone on this call is not on that email thread, it'll be in the notes. Let's see, we have a direct response from Jackie. Jackie, what is your response?
Okay, I wanted to clarify. There's two things on the agenda. One is the guidebook or guru. I don't know how they're pronouncing it. That All Streets is doing. And then the next is the proposals from All Street. What I wanted to bring to the group's attention and to get straight between us and All Streets is about this guru, which they are calling the guidebook. Last year we called it a PM's book. And it was my understanding that they were doing the artwork, going to set it up, et cetera, everything that we would do and get it onto there. And you probably have all seen a lot of emails. I started really emailing everybody in the last 2 weeks because I don't want All Streets to get lost in the dust. And I thought a lot of people on the list in the call do not know about them. So at any rate, the part I'm concerned about is that it also turns out that they have been contacting the speakers and trying to set up a schedule, which I think is totally different from just doing the guidebook and the artwork. So unfortunately, I don't know what we can do without All Streets on the call, but that's why I put this up here. I think there's different steps. We already have the speakers working group, but they, of course, have been working on this for a couple of months, or at least 6 weeks or so. So I don't want us to duplicate their work, but we all need to get on the same page. That's my bit about that. Check.
Thanks for that information, Jackie. Yeah, I know that Sparrow and Mary have been working on this even longer than that. All kinds of work that they put in starting at the last NatGat. So let's see, you got Twinkles there from Carrie and Lisa, and I think that probably has to do with the part you said about, who is in charge of inviting speakers. So Lisa, maybe you'd like to have a direct response to that.
Thank you. Yes, I have a direct response to several things. Yes, I suggested some speakers that Andy Kahn had contacted and confirmed, and lo and behold, they told I guess All Streets or somebody told me the speakers list was almost done, and I thought, how can it be done? We haven't even spoken on the call about who we want. Do we want speakers to cover a wide range of topics and issues? How many speakers do we want? Do we want a lot of speakers one day? Do we want a few each day? I mean, there's so much as far as the structure of the NatGat that we have yet to decide, and we haven't really had to. So I think they are jumping way, way, way ahead of the gun here. I check.
You got a lot of twinkles on that, and twinkles from myself. It's from what I've seen, there's a schedule that we're going to follow, and I like it. We're starting with yoga. Sounds good. Let's see, we got direct responses coming in here, and then Sally is on the stack, followed by Brother Carter. So let's get the direct response from Cal, then we'll go to Sally, then Brother Carter.
Yeah. So I have some disturbances with me about the way this is being handled because this is Occupy, and Occupy operates with openness and transparency and inclusion. And I don't ever remember seeing an invitation to anybody in the NatGat to join the group of people that were organizing and planning all that stuff. So it seems like, and it just from where I sit, it looks like a fairly strongly walled up, previously existing collective that decided to take this on, and it just keeps telling us what they're doing as if it's a one-way communication. I don't like the style of communication. It's very, very untransparent. I mean, whether it was me or anybody else, we have 9 people who signed up for this for this workshop and speakers group. Some of them signed up as 5 or 6 weeks ago, and we have not been invited to join any of their efforts, not since day one. So I feel like, I've said this to Jackie, I feel like I'm walking up to a fortress and kind of trying to knock on the door, but the walls are very thick. And so the only time that they ever communicate is mostly a one-way communication saying, here's what we're doing. If you have any response to this or input, I should say, about this, like if you have any speaker needs or something like that, please come to us. But it's very much a one-way communication. That's not really a bi-directional communication. It should be an open partnership at the very least with the new working group, or we should all be allowed to have joined it right from the beginning, which is too late now. So I just object to the whole way in which I have strong objections to the whole way in which they've handled this. I mean, I think they're doing great work, but it's not like the kitchen staff. It's a little different. This is something that affects the whole gathering, and we knew from the beginning that this group here had the purview for dealing with anything having to do with the gathering overall. So I just wanted to express some very strong disgruntlement about the way this has been and is still being handled. Check.
All right, thanks for that response. Yeah, I think you got a lot of twos on that, and I think that's a lot of the ways that people are feeling is like, wow, who are these people? And my only thing would be to remind everyone that the members of the All Streets team were at Kalamazoo. They were behind the scenes making things happen and doing lots of hard work. So that said, we've got a little stack working here. It's Sally, Brother Carter, followed by Julia. Sally, your mic is open.
Yeah, I want to in part agree with what Cal said, and in part realize that they are kind of feeling the same about us, that not necessarily that we haven't offered join us. I'm not sure what facilities they have for doing conference calls. I know they don't like them, but they feel that we are not hearing them the way we feel that they feel that they are not hearing us the way we feel that we are not hearing them. I have tried to start getting some conversation going, and I think Jackie may have posted some of those messages to the list or talked about doing so. But yes, I think and my biggest problem is, why are we talking about so many speakers? Is this Occupy? Are we all in this together, or is this a lecture series? So check.
Thanks for that clarification, Sally. And yeah, that's the similar sentiment I have received. Brother Carter, your microphone is open.
Yeah, something I said earlier in the conversation. Distractions. This is merely a distraction. If that group want to be a part of what we're doing here, then they have to break ground and communicate with what we're doing here. I'm here. I don't want nobody coming in doing nothing that I don't know about in my own town, number one. And I've been out here busting my ass for the last 2.5, 3 years. I don't know who these people are, but if they're a part of the 99%, a part of this Occupy movement, then they should need to dialogue and get in on the conversation. Nobody got time to roll out no red carpets, because poverty ain't rolling out no red carpets. Opportunity and justice is not rolling out red carpets. So whatever they want to do to enlighten this movement, they need to come to this table and talk to us and let us know, what are you speaking on? What is your round table of these speakers and the issues that they're going to be, addressing with us here. I don't have no agenda of that. That's in the blank. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a distraction. What we're doing here is an action of a group of people from across the country that's trying to bring the assembling of us together in love. That's not love. You guys, you love, you come on in the picture with us. We here. And everybody else that's on this phone call is here. So if they want to play the outside thing, that, as far as I'm concerned, is just a distraction. All the stuff that we need to get done here, and they're out there just planning a list of speakers. We don't need speakers. We got the, like you said, we have the people's mic. We're the speakers. Check.
Exactly. Yes, lots of agreement going on that one. Yeah, I wanted to address like what you just said, but we're coming to the end of the call real quick, so I'm going to clear out the stack, take the direct responses, and then I'm going to have my direct response just to the conversation. So the stack is Julia, then Lisa, and then Jackie and Kyle. If you can remember your direct responses, please do. Julia, your mic is on.
Hi, yeah, you know, I don't know who these folks are either, and they don't know me because I'm new to the whole event, you know, and this is an event. It is just like any other event. It does need some structure and entertainment, and the speakers, it sounds like you know, it had been mentioned to me that the speakers, that sounds like something that would be informative. You know, a lot of the Occupy movement is about education. You know, it wake people up, and that's done through sharing of information. I don't even know if these folks have a website. You know, I realize that Mr. Carter is old school, as he put it. You know, he doesn't have a computer. However, there are many of us that are extraordinarily technical, you know, dependent on technology. And so if they don't have a website to be able to convey what they're trying to say when they are not here, you know, that they need an aviator to be able to so I can read it. You know, I sympathize with them, and I don't want to speak to people that aren't really here. I sympathize with them. Conference calls are awkward. Check.
But you've handled it like a real champ, Julia, and I really appreciate you joining this call this week. Let's see. The stack is getting bigger. It seems that people don't mind we're going a little over, so let's get to Lisa. You had your hand up.
Okay, yes, thank you. I see two, and there may be even more, but I see two major problems here. One is about where the major decisions are made, and I see that the major decisions are made basically by this group, augmented by sometimes some doodle polls, some Facebook information, and more, what should I say, information or decisions that just affect maybe one particular working group. More minor decisions are delegated to the working group. That is great, but they are delegated. A group just doesn't go and say we're going to make this decisions. Look what we're doing with, you know, the press release, which is fine. This is the Occupy way. We all want to have a say in things. So I think we should establish that the NatGat visioning group is the decision-making body. The second problem we have is communication. I don't see why somebody from All Streets couldn't at least be on the call for the report backs, even if it is too objectionable for them to sit through the entire conference call. But we have to have ongoing, regular, weekly communication. I check.
Thank you for that, Lisa. And I totally twinkle up to what you just said. This is the decision-making body. If delegation of duties comes from anywhere, it should be here. Let's see. We're moving now to direct responses from Jackie, and then Kyle, then myself. Jackie, your microphone is open.
Yeah, just direct response to the term speakers, and you know, a few people said, well, do we need speakers? I think we're just using that as a coinage. When I set up the spreadsheet, I had this long name: activity creators, participants, presenters, speakers. I think it would cover anybody that we just have to make sure, communication-wise, that we have them on the schedule. Somebody that wants to come and do a teach-in. You know, a skills share. Those are things that we have to, you know, make space and put them on the schedule. So if somebody can think of a better word for that, that'd be great. But I think when we're talking about speakers, we're not just talking about, you know, let's get the stars in. Check.
Right. Yeah, star power can be a detriment to a gathering like this. Let's see. Next up is Cal with a direct response. Cal?
All right, let's see if I can fit it all into the time limit. So first, in terms of, I think speakers is a fine word. At the first NatGat in Philly, we had speakers. Even the names were people who were, I think, within the Occupy movement. So we want to draw somebody who's within our own resources or within the resources of the people of this country. That's fine. We had a problem last year because one of the guys who set up the Environment Day, which unfortunately was somebody I brought in, actually just went off very much like I feel with what the All Streets folks are doing and said, don't worry, I'm handling everything. It's going to be great. It's going to be lovely. And we just had lecture after lecture after lecture, and there was very little group things happening, the crowd things happening, almost not at all. So I think people are sensitive, all the way up to bringing Jill Stein, presidential candidate, in, which some people loved, but a lot of people actually didn't attend and even walked out on that. So I've been hearing mixed reviews since then. That's the first point. Second point, as far as All Street is concerned, if they are the same people who were there behind the scenes last time, they are, to their credit, they are some of the hardest working people I've seen, and so we probably wouldn't have been able to pull off last year's gathering without them specifically. Part of that's because of where we had it in Kazoo, which is a fairly isolated place. I think we're going to have a lot more resources in Sacramento, but they are hardworking. Sparrow is the only person I think I know from that group, and she busted her butt for this. And for doing things like logistics, they are, that's a great thing because all their proposals have to do with logistics. When it comes to the content of the thing, it's a bit more difficult there. I think they're also operating on some mistaken assumptions that decisions were actually made about this gathering at last year's NatGat, and they weren't. There were suggestions thrown out and some twinkles thrown out. No decision-making was made about the place, about the dates, about anything. They were just ideas thrown around and somewhat of a vision that William Underbaggage had. That was what happened at the closing ceremony. And last thing, I would urge us to be cautious about the word delegating, because delegating is a term that's used in hierarchy. I think the whole idea of having the working groups be autonomous is fine, as long as we have a consensus that the working groups are doing what they're doing. So we decided to have a working group for this. We decided a working group for this. We didn't have any such thing in place at the time that All Street started doing the work, and that's where the confusion comes from. So, I want to come to their defense about who they are, but how they're going about doing this with us, no good. Check.
All right, you got some twinkles from Sally and Jackie and me on that one. Brother Carter, I did not forget you're on Stack. Carrie Marks, you are also on Stack. I'm going to give my quick direct response just to the general conversation, because this is, we're not going to get to the proposals. I kind of figured that. But we do have 3 solid proposals from the All Streets team. Let's just say Sparrow is their representative. She was on two of the calls. One, she was on the call via Twitter, and the other one, she was on the call, but nobody could hear her because she is mute. Not her telephone, like her voice. So at any rate, she is a homeless person. She is in Tennessee, as far as I know right now. She has a cell phone and a dream, and she's coordinating these other people in All Streets to get content and help. Their content has been original and very fresh and somewhat ununderstandable to people my age. I'm a little older. I'm like, wow, these are great ideas, but I have no idea. So one of the things I saw in the email threads is that they are requesting a liaison, somebody to speak for them on this call. So now that said, I don't know if I'm even qualified to do that, because I don't know if I can keep up with them and how quickly they're thinking. I'm going to try to get in touch with Sparrow and ask her to find a liaison. That said, is there anybody on this call that would like to have an adventure and be the liaison so that they could speak for All Streets? We got Julia Clark. That sounds good. We can get you hooked up with some email addresses. Sally, you got a direct response. Let's see, what have you got to say?
Yeah, that was the proposal that I sent to Outreach only because it seemed they wanted a liaison with the Outreach team, I think, regarding the speakers issue, although we now have a new speakers group. It might also, in fact, make sense for them to have a liaison with this group or to designate one of them on a rotating basis to come to this group. Check.
That sounds good to me. We definitely need to keep them involved and keep them, in the loop, because the last thing we want to do is, exclude anybody. That said, that's probably a good segue into Brother Carter. Brother Carter, I'm going to open up your mic. You were on Stack recently. What have you got?
I just want to say, I'm what you just explained, about the group. I'm going to take with deep consideration and show them love and compassion because they're a part of us. They're on the same work of us. So I can't take any of that away, but only to give the love back to them. But the more that they communicate and connect with us, we get a better understanding, of what they do and what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? But we need to know, and that's all. Check. And like I said, I take everything that you say, for your word. So maybe you need to be that person.
I think I might be qualified, but then I would definitely be less likely to be able to facilitate, which could be good too, to give somebody else a practice at doing this kind of thing. Just Julia, I'm going to open your mic real quick. Are you in the outreach working group? I think I saw you in there, or media maybe.
Yeah, I am, and I can very much understand the issue of making a conference call if you are a fluid person. It would be expensive, first off, to use this many minutes. I'm very fortunate that my organization has some supporters that make arrangements for me to have internet and phone even if I go homeless. So I understand her situation. And so I can easily be, or if they are accepting, of course, I can liaison. I'm hot on Twitter. Well, I am frequently on Twitter. I do have hundreds of emails often. But that said, I also can definitely manage time to that's needed. And I'm on the media group. I signed up for the admin group. Basically, my situation is I have a camper and I'm heading out that way. I was on my way to Costa Rica and I heard about the national meeting, and I had worked with the Million Man March, and I like very much how the Million Man March became such a internet. Everyone participated, even if they weren't able to make it. And I think there was a person down in Tampa that was kind of speaking about that a little bit, streaming and making this, even if they can't make it, they can at least be there together with us with their digital form. And that's important to a lot of folks. Check or rate or... Yeah,
no, that's good. You're in outreach. I'll contact you. We'll put everybody in contact. I know that Sparrow loves Twitter more than anything else. There are 2 direct responses or 2 more people that want to speak. I know Carrie had her hand up first, so I'm just going to open up your mic real quick, Carrie, and you speak. Then we'll go to Jackie with a direct response, Cal who is on Stack, and then we need to think about ending the call. We're down to 13 people now. Okay, Carrie, your microphone is on.
Okay, thank you. I have a little problem with the liaison situation. I love you, Julia. I love that you're here and all of that, and it's a great idea, but we've done that. And it doesn't change the power situation here where they're still dictating things to us. We already have a liaison who gave us 3 proposals that we are not going to get to today on this call because we've been talking about this for so long. It's a big problem that these people have, isolated themselves, and I do appreciate their difficulties, but that makes it sort of a less able group to handle this planning of the entire agenda for the entire gathering. And so that's what I wanted to say about that. Check.
No, I appreciate that feedback, Carrie. That's for I don't think anybody without even a basic access to internet is going to have a good time trying to take this all on themselves. So let's see. Let's get to the direct responses. We're going to do Jackie, then Cal. I'm going to put all the hands down. Jackie, your microphone is on.
Thanks, Chaz. I just want to say I love Lisa's idea of asking them to make it at least 2 report backs. That, you know, could cut down on charges on the cell phone. Because kind of like Kerry said, I don't think any liaison will have all the answers, the spontaneous answers that other people may want addressed on the call. But of course, we could do it with a week delay. But maybe if they could commit to coming every other week or something. That's all. And I just want to say, great friggin' job facilitating, Chaz. Check.
Oh, even though we're going late, I see. All right, Cal, I got you here, and then we're gonna probably start moving to the rest of our day. Cal, your microphone is open.
I'll make this fairly short. So I would like to work on a communication that could start out as an email and then figure out how it would actually be communicated with them, outlining the difficulties we're having with the relationship, the sort of closed and dictatorial nature of how they're doing it, and what we actually want, and also the role and purview of the new working group and how they might communicate and work with with us as the planning group, with the new speakers and agenda working group, the program working group, and also the other groups that they need to be involved with the outreach, and sort of put this all into one email, one communication, so that they get it and they have an understanding of the difficulties we're having and what we're looking for. So I'd like to work on that, but not alone. And maybe Julia, you're the person to work with if you want to take this on, or it could be anybody else. So if there's anybody else who wants to work on this with me, I'd love to have other people, crafting this communication to them. Check.
All right. That is a very good idea, Cal. You got twinkles for what you're saying. Let's see. Donna, I see you are on Stack. Let's talk to you, and then I want to take a check for volunteers of people who want to be on that email list. But first, let's hear from Donna.
Hi, and I want to apologize ahead of time. I've been trying to move for a couple weeks now, so I'm coming in and out of this call, but I hope that I'm speaking at the right time. But I'd just like to say that as a person who's a creative person myself, I understand the need to be able to work on something without maybe constant supervision initially. So my suggestion would be that perhaps communicating with Allstreets to say, come up with a vision and then possibly come in at intervals to show us when they're ready to show us something, but at intervals where we can be assured that things are progressing and that they're in line with our vision statement and what we'd like to see at the national gathering. It's just my own knowledge of and experience, knowing that sometimes the creative process needs some time to foment first without having the pressure of having reports or stuff like that. So I'm just wondering if some kind of compromise can be had in that kind of line. I yield.
An excellent point there, Donna. I know Donna knows Sparrow as well, so that's really important. So real quick, let's see here. If you would like to volunteer to get more emails, if you want to be on a new email list that Cal has proposed, please press the number 1, and we will be sure to include you in that email list, which is basically, we're going to try to bridge this communication divide that we're having between people that can be on the call and people that can't be on the call. So we're getting some volunteers here. Volunteering. We've got plenty of email space. So there you go. There's a nice list of people. And then also, if you're on that list, you'll see where we're at and trying to get all this done. So if somebody would take the email addresses of the people with their hands up, that would be excellent. Oh, thank you, Cal. I appreciate it. All right, Jackie. Way to go. Great double TA action. All right, everybody. Well, we are at 9:18. I really appreciate everybody taking the extra time to stay on. We're still at 13 strong, so that's really good. Zoe, thanks for joining the call this week. That was really great. Julia, it's nice to have you on board. You've got a lot of great positive energy. From everybody else, we really appreciate you coming back every week, especially my Sacramento people. Way to go. You guys are doing a great job. So that said, unless anybody wants to continue this telephone call, I'm going to open all the mics. So if you'd like to say something else, get a last word, and please press the number 1. Oh, got a number 1. It's Brother Carter. Uh-oh. There we go. I can open your mic up. What have you got for us?
I just wanted to say to all of my brothers and sisters on this line, let's continue to do what we're doing and continue to fight the good fight. That's what's out in front of us today. And when it comes to Friday, light that candle for us. Let's continue to put a light that someone left us a light to keep on. And let's keep it on for him, and not only for him, but let's keep it on for justice. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're all trying to seek here. A little light of freedom, just only for a little while. Bless you all now. I love you all. I truly do. And I'm not talking about a boss love. I'm talking about something that holds unconditional, that holds a passion for humilities and humanities and that spirit. Thank you all, and I truly mean it.
Thanks for that, Brother Carter. That said, you got lots of twinkles and no other people on stack. I am in the process. I don't know how to open all the mics at once, so I'm opening them one at a time. Everybody, your mic is open. Thanks for coming on the call, everybody. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Before we go, sorry, I have an announcement.
Bye. Nice meeting everyone.
Sorry, I have an announcement. I forgot.
Bye.
Before everybody leaves. Announcement.
Do it. Announcement.
Do it.
So next Tuesday, there's going to be another Maestro training. I think it's next Tuesday. It's our monthly scheduled Maestro. If you want to learn how to run the board and how to facilitate these calls, so we can have more people doing it, it'll be at 5 o'clock Western Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. I'll put something, so if you want to do that, please come and be trained. You must be trained in order to be in one of those 2 roles. That's it. Check.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Occupy.
All right.
Bring
Now,
on
good
the
night,
American
everybody.
strain. Good night.
Thanks all.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Let's see, where's the off button?